Got up today. I thought it was going to be pouring rain. Instead, it was just miserable, drizzly, raining a bit off and on. As many of you know, we didn't go with the 6 we were going to. We planned on going today just because of the weather. Now, I guess in hindsight, the track was hard. You can see it was fast for the first race, but I was covered in mud. And that's how that track can get. It can still be fast, yet muddy somehow. And the mile out of Columbus was, somebody asked me the other day, how do you gauge how to keep the horses and move the horses and which ones to keep and move? It's hard, right? I do the best I can to give the horses every chance they can to get better. And, a perfect example is Full Heart. I told everybody 3 weeks ago, she's training good. Maybe she'll come forward in 2023 because we know the speed was there. But the mental acuity, the mental level still has to be there when you're talking about the horses. And with Full Heart, I made a decision that she just wasn't going to be able to do enough because they have to do it now. Now is the time. You're going to get to the races. You're going to race in the maidens. If you're successful in the maidens up in the Nommers 2 for 3-4 weeks, then you've stake races coming up later on. You might be a useful horse. But if we go to qualifying and you're still up to the same bad habits you were last year, and, it doesn't really matter if I can train Full Heart in 59. Would she go in 59 in a way that I can use her well? No. Maybe she would after. And somebody said, well, what if you give them 10 starts? I could do that. And you could pay us another $12,000 in training for me to tell you in 10 weeks, 12 weeks potentially, it's just not going to work out. I felt comfortable in saying that I was not happy with the way Full Heart qualified. Physically, yeah, we could put the hobbles on her, but mentally, she's still Full Heart. And I think if we step back and look at it, the mental component needed in this game is almost as high as the physical one. Now you fast forward to today. I told everybody I didn't want to go with High Enterprise because I didn't want to put a bad line on her. She is very close to us just saying, okay, like Full Heart, you're just not going to be a competitive horse in 2023. But I'm going to give her a chance. She's got trained down well. She's trained well a couple of times. She's trained poorly a couple of times. I wanted to make sure that she had a fair qualifier where I could go out and say, okay, track was good, mile was good, filly was bad, or otherwise. Hey, filly qualified good, but I wanted to give her the best chance I could to be that filly. Now with Oh My Gosh and Columbus Day, honestly, I was shocked. I didn't think Columbus would be that good. And I thought Oh My Gosh would be a little tiny bit better, but truthfully, if I had asked my partners on Oh My Gosh 4 weeks ago, said, I'm going to qualify this horse in 59 in 4 weeks, I don't think anybody would be unhappy. And he was really, if you watch, I don't know if the video was on, I think it was because it was on in the barn. He was really rickety in the straightaways, a little more than he was last week. So the question is, why? Was it the track? I didn't see any blood anywhere. He didn't nick himself anywhere. I couldn't hear him hit anywhere. So where are the ripples coming from? 3-year-old trotting colt, common sense would say, knees, potentially feet. We've trained him hard the last 3 weeks. Our stifle's a little sore. So we had asked Dr. Latessa, this is a horse that we baycoxed a lot last year, and we did not yet that much this year. So I asked Dr. Latessa and Jason, he said, hey, can you go over the horse, every nook and cranny? I want to know what's going on with Oh My Gosh. Because he was okay. He just got the life sucked out of him a little bit. Half 57 and 4, I'm like, oh, it's muddy. I don't want to get away 6 with this horse. I wish he would have 59, not 57 and 4, but I don't get to control other people. So I was okay with Oh My Gosh. 31 and 2 on the end of it. Is, in the straightaways, it really sucked the life out of him. He had no momentum because first 3 steps into the straightaways, he was out of gear. Why was he doing that? So that's step 1. I don't know if you're going to get rid of that. That's easier said than done. But figure out what it was and try to mitigate it best you can. So we already know, Oh My Gosh, qualified okay. The mile was okay. The mile out of Columbus was tremendous. For a horse that really didn't train awesome. I mean, even training down, he was a little bit better mentally. He wasn't as hot as he was last year. A couple of times he was. But when Eric went with him last week, he was very manageable. Good mile for him. So in that regard, I'm not shocked that he was a little bit better because his manners were better. But mentally, he put it all together today. Got away fourth, attacked, didn't just attack, finished off his supper. And in this case, his brunch. It's a good mile from him. So I was impressed. And that is why, and that's not to say he's going to go out and win state races, but he's going to be a useful horse. He's got a 3-year mark at 58 now. That mile wins a maiden. In fact, it puts him in decent standing with the non-winners of 2. On today, with the extra work that's going to be put into him over the next 3, 4, 5 weeks. So, good for him. But I think it's important that we give these horses a chance. We can collectively as a group say, okay, they didn't do it at 2, get rid of them. I think that's a little knee-jerk, and it's not like we're trying to, make money on training bills. That's why Full Heart left the very second she could. I just think we owe it to them, and I owe it to you, to do right by the horse and do right by you. Give them a chance. And High Enterprise will have a chance next week, hopefully on a better track. So Columbus, and we didn't go with Coop because the track was hard. It's probably where you got that speed from. And I don't really want to go with Coop on a hard track. So she can train 1.5 miles tomorrow, come out next Thursday. There's nothing wrong with that. And High Enterprise for opposite reasons. I just want to get a good line on her. Today, in my mind, now maybe with the track hard tape, maybe you would have, or maybe your feet would have been hurting her, and she would have made a break. So that's for next week. Swinging Senorita also next week. And Leaps and Bounds got a good training mile into her yesterday. She's due to be shod. So get her shod today after a good training mile and 2-1 yesterday. That'll do her the world of good too. So we have 6 horses ready to go. Well, no, we don't need to go 2 of them now. We have 4 horses ready to go next week. We will probably train in the race bike next week. Smoking Hot Irish Girl. They're going to go 1.5 miles tomorrow. A little stronger. Smoking Hot Irish Girl, Tactical Mounds. You know who I'm talking about. Landing Strip will also go. There's one more. Landing Strip, Tactical Mounds, Smoking Hot Irish Girl. Come to me. Anyway, those horses will all be ready to go very, very soon. So 2 qualified, 2 good qualifiers. If you take Columbus out of that race, you're like, hey, 1 mile 59. Like, oh, that's awesome. I really didn't think Columbus would beat, oh my gosh, the way they were training down. Very similar horses, but both look like they're going to be useful in a maiden. You can tell by the rickettiness, that's not a word, the roughness of, oh my gosh, that we can probably help him. So he'll likely be better next week. Now, I guess I should have led with Akati. Stomer Ducati raced last night. I thought he was a little flat. We're checking his blood just to make sure he didn't tie up. In fact, he likely could have cramped up a bit in transit just from Southern Ohio to Northfield Park. We didn't get him back till Sunday, and he was in to go Wednesday. Didn't get to train him up hard this week. Was that a reason? I thought he was a little bit off left hind. Was that residual stiffness? Or are we talking about 2 totally different things? Can't comment on that until we get the blood work back and until we get the vet to look at Stomer Ducati. So all I can tell you is I thought he was so-so last night. Usually when you move him down the back stretch, and I get into him a little much, but you got to work the little bugger to make him go. Hopefully we won't have to next week. Ducati, usually when he sweeps up like that, he'll continue on. And that's how I believe, now I come into the 2-hole in 91, but I wasn't disappointed with his race last night. He's an okay horse, racing him with okay horses. We went on the track 7 or 8 to 1, and he raced like that. I wish I had to get off the car a little stronger with him. One of our clients said, are you going to leave with him? Yeah, I'm always going to leave with him. He just, with the track being hard and muddy, and it pouring rain at the time, and whatever was going on with him late at night, did he cramp up? Did he tie up? Was there something bothering him? He just wasn't the very best I've seen him last night. But nevertheless, he didn't race horrible. So that's today, and on my way now to drive Dustin Hanover. I don't know if I'm going to get there to drive the first horse. It's going to be nip and tuck. But I'm going to get there in time to drive Dustin Hanover for sure. He's in race 8. And then my day, 2 days of mud, will be concluded. So good luck to everybody. I'll probably do a video after Horn Player races. Unless her and Dustin don't race good, and then I don't want to talk to anybody. So we'll see. We'll see if I can help with the first part of that equation. And then, Horn Player's got the 9-hole. I guess I just like to see some life, some spark in her. Qualifier was exceptionally good. So, a little tricky sometimes, but man, she's been good. She was good the other day. So with that, I'll let you guys go. I hope you're having a good day. If you're outdoors, you aren't. It's almost impossible. If you're in North America, I think it's raining everywhere in the world right now. But it is certainly raining here. Eyes still on fire from last night. But you know what? That's racing. We'll get through it, turn the page, and lots coming up. So I will talk to all of you very soon. As I said, I hope you're having a great day wherever you are. And I'm sure we will talk soon enough. Take care.